everybody, it's Clay Corbin, the LaRue County intern. I'm here in the office today, and we're going to be talking about how to do a moisture test on our hay. And we're doing this so we have the ability to assess the moisture content in our hay before we bale it, so that we can avoid any nutrient loss from having wet hay, or especially avoid any burnt down barns from built up heat from the moisture in our bales. This is pretty much everything we need right here. Starting out, we have our scale. This is really the only thing that you might not already have at home. We're going to be measuring by the gram with our hay as we cook the moisture out. I've got a bowl to weigh it on. I'm going to zero this on the scale. I would just put it straight from the microwave onto the scale, but this one won't overload the scale. And obviously I can't put it in the microwave because it's metal. So because of that, I got this bowl to put in the microwave. If you had something that go in the microwave and wasn't glass, I'd recommend it because this actually gets pretty hot. And then here we got just a cup of water. We're gonna put that in the microwave with the grass as we're microwaving it so that we don't scorch the hay or start a flame. I actually had heard a story from somebody just yesterday that a long time ago was doing a moisture test in the microwave and had just caught fire and completely burnt up their microwave. So we wanna avoid that. And of course, we have our hay right here. And this is just hay that we've took up out of the field after we've cut it. And we're looking at baling it. And we want to make sure that the moisture is right. And obviously we're going to need the microwave. I've had a pair of scissors just so I can make it more easily fit into the bowl as I'm moving it around and everything. Because especially with how dry my hay already is, it takes quite a bit to get a decent weight. And it can be hard to fit in the bowl, and I have it falling out and everything, so I'll cut it down to a smaller size to make it more easily fit. All right, so now you can see we've got 50 grams of grass on our scale right here. I've done 50. It would really, ideally, to do the math would be the easiest if you did 100 grams. But like I said earlier, I got really dry hay, and so it's a lot to get 100 grams in there. But if we do 50, when we go to find the percentage later, we should be able to just find the difference and then multiply it by 2, and then that should be our moisture content. So that keeps the math pretty simple. So now that we've got it weighed up, we know what we got. I'm going to record that our starting weight was 50. I'm going to write that down on a piece of paper, and we're going to get everything transferred over into this glass bowl and put in the microwave, and we're going to make sure not to forget our glass of water so we don't have any microwave casualties. The whole idea of this test is that we're cooking the moisture out of our hay here. And so we took our starting weight and we're going to put it in the microwave, and we're going to put it in 2 minutes at a time. We're going to repeat that process till we have 2 measurements that are about the same, as close as you can be, until they're about the same, and that's going to be our end weight. And so the difference between the starting weight and the end weight is going to be the moisture content that we've cooked out of it, and that'll be our moisture percentage. So I've got my hay and my cup of water in there. So I'm going to close this up, and we're going to get it on 2 minutes and wait for that to finish up. And then we'll record the weight once we've cooked it. And then we'll repeat that process. So I've transferred the hay back onto the scale. And as you can see, we've already lost a few grams of moisture. This should be our biggest jump since it's the first time in the microwave. But all we need to do right now is record this and then get it back in the microwave to record another weight. So I've already got down here my starting weight. I'm just gonna write down 1, then 46.2. And now we'll get this back on the microwave to keep going with the process. All right, so now we've got to a point where we don't have change from our last recording. So our last one was 45.1, this one's 45.1. We're gonna call our ending weight 45, just to make it simple. We're gonna call it 45, and so all we're doing is we're finding the difference. So we got 50 minus 45, and that's gonna be 5. And 5. And so 5 grams is the moisture content we've took out of this hay. And so since we got 50, it's half of 100, so we're just gonna it's gonna be double the percentage. So we had a 10% moisture content. So that's all there is to it, testing moisture this way. I love it because it's easy, straightforward. Almost anybody can do it. You should have almost everything at home already. You might not have a scale that's easy to get, shouldn't be too costly. There are other ways to test the moisture in your hay, such as a probe, but not only is the probe expensive to get, but it's not as accurate as this. Not to mention that you already have to have at least a few bales baled before you're able to test with your probe. So I hope this has been helpful, and y'all guys can try it out on your own, and thank you for watching.